All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this Monday evening live session. And today we are going to compare between green belt as well as black belt. Okay, because a lot of members have this question that what are the fundamental difference between various belts, etc. So we are going to first. I'll give you the general differences between all these stuff, all these levels of Lean Six Sigma. And as far as green and black is concerned, which is most of us will be more interested in, what are the fundamental difference in the tools which we are using. Okay, so let's begin our journey today. Let me share my screen and let's begin. So we have 5 levels in Lean Six Sigma. We all know that, which 5 levels meaning not the DMAC principle, DMAC framework I'm talking about, because a lot of people get confused that 5 levels meaning define, measure, and no, they are not levels, they are phases. Okay, define phase, measure phase, analyze, improve, and control. There are 5 phases. What are the level? What are the hierarchy levels we have? So those are starting from, if you remember, it is white belt, then yellow belt, then green belt, then black belt, and master black belt, just for our understanding. Now, white belt is just one awareness session, so they don't do the projects. Okay, so projects, so I'll write project duration, let's say, for example. Okay, so project duration, white belts don't do the project because it's just the awareness level program. Yellow belt project generally runs for 1 month, maximum 1 month, not more than 1 month. It can be for from a week to 1 month. Okay, and then comes the black belt, green belt level, which is maximum it takes around 3 months time, and black belt around 4 to 5 months time. This is what it is. And if we use effective AI tools, this can be brought down. That is what we have observed. Again, master black belts also don't do projects on their own because they are the mentors. Okay, their role is to mentor the people, mentor the black belt, green belt, yellow belt, etc. Okay, so this is what is general guideline. Now, in all these 5 levels, the DMAC framework is absolutely common. Whether you are white belt or you are master black belt, the framework of DMAC is absolutely common across all the levels. So what changes? What changes? What is the difference between these levels? The difference is as you go up in the ladder, meaning yellow belt, green belt, black belt, etc. So more and more advanced statistical tools, more advanced statistical tools basically we cover statistical tools, and you can say lean tools as well, right? Because we are into Lean Six Sigma and not only Six Sigma, because in Six Sigma there is more statistics involved. But of course, we are having some lean tools as well because we are studying Lean Six Sigma, correct? So as we go from yellow belt, so white belt is, there are no tools as such, just the awareness of what is Six Sigma, what is the origin, what is DMAC framework, etc., how we solve the problem, etc. Yellow belt, we go deeper into the DMAC framework, give couple of couple of examples of the tools in each phase. Green belt is where we actually start from, start taking projects. Okay. So yellow belt basically, the project, the intensity, or you can say the complexity of the project is low complex project. Green belt level is medium complex project, and black belt level are high complex projects. Now, when I say complex, that means the meaning of complex is the projects which are basically the projects which has multiple functions involved. What do you mean by complex projects? Like black belt projects, right? Where just a second. Yeah. So I was talking about what do you mean by complexity? Complexity meaning um, if the challenge, if the problem in hand is very chronic in nature, chronic meaning very old, okay, it is repetitive in nature, and there are more functions involved, okay, and it requires more efforts to solve the problem. These are called complex problems, chronic problems, generally go into black belt category. Green belts are kind of medium problems, and yellow belts are, you can say, smaller problems like Kaizen projects, smaller projects, okay, which can be completed within 1 week to 1 month's time. Okay, duration, not more than that. So these are the 5 levels. White belt and master black belt don't do the projects on their own. Yellow belt, green belt, black belt do the projects, the duration and the complexity levels. Okay. And as we go, more and more advanced statistical tools and lean tools we learn in the process. Clear, everybody? Till now, is it clear? Just give me yes in the chat box so that I will exactly cover what is the difference between green and the black belt, which is most crucial for all of us. Just give me yes if you have understood this. Everybody, can you just type yes so that I can have this? Or any question you have, please, you can type that in the chat and I will answer that as well. Super, super. Amazing, amazing. Chalo. So let me just quickly right now, today's session will focus on green and black. And okay, I'll speak about yellow belt as well in between. Okay. Multiple projects simultaneously we can do, Ramanuji, but not what you can say, unless and until you are a consultant, for example, where as a consultant you need to work on multiple projects. Okay. Why? Because consultant is a full-time consultant. Now understand this. White belt, yellow belt, green belt people, most of them, so let me write down here, most of them are generally part-timers. What do I mean by part-timers? Part-time. What do I mean by part-time? Part-time meaning they are not full-time doing the projects. Okay. Even sometimes black belt also are part-timers because they are not only doing the projects, along with their routine activities, they are doing the projects. That's why they are hired in high numbers, because they are all-rounders. They can bat and they can ball, they can field, they can do all the stuff, right? But when you become master black belt, when you become a consultant, then only focus you have is project improvement, etc. In that case, you don't have any other responsibility on your shoulder, whether you are an employee of the organization or you are external consultant. Okay, then you can manage, provided you have the bandwidth, you have time, you have some support team along with you, you can handle multiple projects. But if you are employee, if you are yellow belt, green belt, or even a black belt, then one project at a time is what is expected. Okay, that is the best suggested. Clear? So black belt and master black belt generally are full timers in the organization. See, again, master black belt are full timers, but I have seen some organization where black belts also work as full time. Okay, again, it depends on the strategy of the company. Clear, everybody? Shall we go further? Just give me yes. Whichever doubt pops up, please type in the chat box. Okay. Yeah. So there is no such kind of minimum project requirement. Okay. Why projects are important, first of all, is just to check whether we are capable of implementing that into practical stuff. That's the only reason why the projects are important. So now, what CSSC has done, because not all the organizations allow their employees to do the project. Okay. And to overcome that challenge. So, what used to happen earlier, because of not having the projects or not getting opportunity to do the projects, a lot of employees were not able to complete their certification. So they have just a little, what you can say, reduced that one. And for green and black, they have eliminated the requirement of submission of the project. Only for master black belt, you have to submit the project, but for green and black belt, for the certification purpose, you are not expected. See, very simple. The best what you can say place to do the project is your own company. Very simple. Where you know the process, where there is a support system available, where management is conducive for you to do the projects. So that's the best way or best place to do the projects. If your management is not allowing that, okay, of course, anyways, we are looking for other jobs anytime, right? So we should um, focus on those companies where Lean Six Sigma culture is there. Okay, that is also one strategy we can implement. Okay. Yes, everybody clear? Shall we go to the comparison purpose? Just give me yes in the chat box. And this document I'm going to share with you so that you can compare that. Plus, I am going to show you green and black belt curriculum. Okay. Can I have yes, please, in the chat? Till now, yes, clear? Yeah, if you are traveling, then it's okay. But otherwise, please keep on giving me feedbacks. Okay. Otherwise, I will not be able to understand. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Chalo, let's begin with green and black belt. Okay. Comparison. And I will talk about, as Maheshji suggested, please, I will cover some of the yellow belt content as well. Okay. Now, so coming back to this, now in define phase, okay, what are the general tools? Now, I have just covered the DMAC framework, okay. But if you go to our green belt curriculum, understand this. If we start our green belt curriculum, everybody, I believe, anybody in the room who has not even checked the course 1 green belt in our LMS system, anybody like that? Just type me in the chat box. I repeat my question. Anybody in the room sitting who has not seen the content of the green belt course, just type me in the chat box. Or rather, they are not aware where is the green belt course. They have never logged into LMS system. They have not even checked course number 1 green belt. ऐसा कोई है? Just give me in the chat box. Anybody new person in the room? Nobody, right? Okay. Now, when you open the green belt, the first is you will find something called introduction. Introduction. Okay. So you will find some, the first one is the welcome section is there. Then there is an introduction section introduction to Lean Six Sigma, LSS. Okay. Followed by there is something called DMAC framework. So a brief explanation of DMAC and the tools which are covered in DMAC is explained over there. And after that, each and every phase-wise tools come into picture. Define phase, then measure phase, etc. Analyze, improve, and control. And then you have some ebook library books are there. Then you have sample questionnaire. Then project templates are there. So all these, this stuff is there below the control phase. Okay. Now, this is the framework of your course content. Okay. Out of which I am covering this part only. Okay. All right, everybody, this is the green belt ka course content ka framework hai. So you will see a welcome section, then introduction, then the DMAC ka ek total session liya hai. Then we have defined, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Phase wise, all the details have been given. Okay, out of which I'm just covering the DMAC framework ka differences. Okay, define में क्या क्या है and इसमें क्या क्या है. Yes, so let me just quickly talk about the define phase. Now, the first revelation is define phase for the green belt, black belt are absolutely same. There is no difference. Okay, define phase. So project charter, even in yellow belt also, you do the project charter, you do the SIPOC and all the basic stuff you do. In define phase, everything remains absolutely common. So communication plan, project charter, and yellow belt may we do project charter, we do SIPOC, that's it. That's good enough. Okay. Then green belt may all these things, project identity. Now, even though project identification section has been there, but who basically does project identification is master black belt. So it is neither green belt nor black belt. Okay. It's objective of master black belt, but this section has been just kept in the course just to give the awareness to you people. Okay. Even though you are not accountable to identify the projects in the organization, master black belts are. Okay. So project identification followed by a chart showing the current performance, then the project charter, SIPOC, stakeholder analysis, RACI metric, communication plan. All these tools are absolutely common in green as well as black belt. Now, what I've done, the highlighted ones, highlighted ones, which are highlighted in bold, okay, dark, these are the ones which are covered in the black belt as well. Otherwise, rest of them are common tools, and only the highlighted one, the darker ones, are covered in the black belt. Okay, now remember this from hence onwards. Okay, now I will be quickly touching upon what do we understand. So, for example, project identification, what we do here in project identification, of course, to identify the projects, right? To identify the projects. I will give you this entire document. Identify the projects. Which projects? Lean Six Sigma projects. Okay. Now, again, one very common question which is generally asked, that question is, how can you define green belt against black belt, against yellow belt, etc.? As I mentioned to you, the complexity low, medium, and high. Okay. See, why I'm telling you this, because even in the company of Motorola, even the fathers of Six Sigma, who are Bill Smith and Professor Michael Harry, they also did not give this complete clear cut that this is green belt, this is black belt, and this is yellow belt kind of a answer, because it cannot be done. Because one complex problem for one industry, one company can be different complexity for a different company. Are you understanding? So it is basically that responsibility is given to the decision makers to decide, okay, whether it is a green belt level problem, black belt level problem, or a small yellow belt level problem. So generally, how I define, there are multiple ways you can do it. As I mentioned, multiple functions are involved and you are having a chronic challenge in your hand. That is called a black belt project. Okay. Similar kind of thing, but a little less complex, a little less chronic. Those kinds of challenges are a green belt, and a very small project where only one function is involved, a problem which is not occurring very frequently. Those kinds of challenges are yellow belt challenges. So you can just segregate like that. In some companies, on financial impact basis also you can define. Okay, now again, what is green belt financial impact, what is black belt, what is yellow belt? It is completely upon that organization. So there is no straight jacketed number. Now understand it. If, let's say, if I put 10 lakh rupees saving and above is a green belt. But again, after 10 years, the number of 10 lakhs, the value of 10 lakhs would be completely different, right? So it is not possible to define a clear-cut value to that. But only thing is that complexities and financial impact, these are some of the pointers on which you can differentiate. Okay. Now, so project identification is to identify the projects. Then time series plot is to show the trends, right? What does project charter do? Project charter क्या करता है? Type in the chat box, everybody. You all have studied project charter in yellow belt as well. What does project charter do? Type in the chat box, everybody. Type in the chat box. Yes. Define scope. Very good. Define scope. So rather summarize this as document all the details about the project. Example, problem, oblique goal statement. What else? Problem, goal statement, and you have start and finishing that exactly, scope, etc. Okay, so these are various, of course, we are not, see, today we are not going into each and every tool's details because then it will take 5 hours for me to complete this. Okay, but today we will check which are the tools which are generally covered in levels. Okay, so green belt level, these are the tools. Stakeholder analysis, stakeholder management, to check the engagement. Now, who are the stakeholders? By the way, everybody's clear about stakeholder. Just type, who are the stakeholders of the project? Yes. Customers, yes. Who can impact and who are getting impacted because of the project are the stakeholders. Okay. So engagement levels for the project, right? So how all the stakeholders are engaged in the project? Are they supporting the project? Are they obstructing the project? Are they opposing the project? Everything you can highlight in the stakeholder management. Okay. Then RACI metrics. RACI is what? RACI is responsible, accountable, then consulted and informed. Okay. So that is basically defines the roles. Okay. Stakeholder management is every stakeholder, how they are engaged. Are they engaged? Are they fully supporting the project? Are they half-heartedly supporting the project? Are they opposing the project? All these levels are there. Whereas RACI matrix is who is responsible for that activity, who is accountable for the result, who would you consult in such situation, who you have to inform about the project progress. All these things are, so defining the role of each and every individual stakeholder is called as RACI matrix. And communication plan is, metrics which can define the communication. Yes, exactly. Communication metrics. That's absolutely right. So let me just copy this. This is very good. So it's a communication metrics between, all the stakeholders, how they will communicate with each other. All right. So these are the basic tools which are used in the define phase. Same in the green belt, same in the black belt. Are you clear, everybody? Yellow belt, generally we cover project, charter and at the most SIPOC, etc. Okay, rest, most of the tools you can cover, but if time permits, if your bandwidth permits, just type yes in the chat box. So green belt define phase, green and black belt, absolutely common across green and black. Just give me yes if you have understood this. So what we are doing, we are comparing between green belt and the black belt. I will explain you specifically where the black belt tools are used, where there are advanced tools which are there. I will take you to the course content as well today, and I will show you exactly where you can find out these different tools. Okay, clear? I'm only so define phase is common for green and black belt. Okay, that is what we can conclude from here. All right. Now, then comes the measure phase. Now let's see the measure phase part. The measure phase starts from operational definition. Now, what is operational definition? Operational definition is what is the objective of it? To standardize the data collection. Now, what is standardization of data collection, for example? So who will collect the data? When that data has to be collected? How that data has to be collected? Where it will be stored? How it has to be analyzed? What is the frequency? All these things have to be documented in operational definition so that there should not be variation in data collection. And while explaining this, I always give an example of, do you remember I always give example of this on time takeoff of various, various, what you can say, airlines, correct? Now, for example, let me give you that example. Let's say there are 4 airlines, okay, which are the 4 airlines? Let's say Indigo is one, Air India is one. So let's say Air India, Indigo, and then what is a SpiceJet, and give me one, Akasa. Let's say Akasa. Okay, let's say these are the 4. Now let's say airlines are there. Now we want to check what is the on-time takeoff percentage of this. Okay, so if we ask Air India, how do you check the on-time departure of the plane? So let's say Air India, and let's give you an example. Okay, let's say Air India says when that flight, basically that the pilot puts the reverse gear. See, generally it is parked, like when it is not flying, it is parked in the bay. So from the bay, when the pilot puts the reverse gear and the flight starts moving, okay, that is the time, that is our takeoff time. That is according to one company. Then we ask, let's say Indigo. Indigo says no. Whenever the plane starts taxiing towards the runway, that is my takeoff time. Then SpiceJet says no. When it actually reaches the runway, that is my takeoff time. And maybe Akasa will say no. The moment plane takes off from the ground, when it takes off from the literally from the ground, that is our takeoff time. So everybody's different way of calculating. If we compare, it will not be apple to apple comparison. There will be variation in the data collection itself. To avoid that, we standardize it. Okay, so we standardize one statement. Let's say whenever that flight basically takes off from the ground, let's say Akasa's definition is the most accurate definition. Let's say, let's go ahead with that. So that becomes the operational definition. And who will collect the data, how the data will be collected, how that will be monitored, how that will be stored, how that will be analyzed. All these things are basically defined in operational definition. Okay. Again, if I have not highlighted, it is common between green and black belt. Okay. The highlighted ones are basically only covered in the black belt. Okay. Then comes measurement system analysis, right? On Saturday, we covered measurement system analysis, attribute agreement analysis. How many of you were there on Saturday? Just type me in the chat box. Yes. So we check AAA and kappa calculation, manual calculation, right? So in the green belt level, what we do is, in the green belt level, the MSA awareness is there. Okay. In black belt level, if you see, there is a practical stuff. What is practical? To conduct MSA practically in your place, what you need to do. That is something which is covered in this. Plus, the Minitab exercise, practical exercise is also covered in our black belt level. So green belt level, just a theoretical awareness. What is MSA? What are the types? What is repeatability, reproducibility? What is AAA, GRR? Okay. And what is the acceptance level? That is the basic part which is covered in green belt. in the black belt level, how practically you can do it. And even yesterday, on Saturday, we covered how to calculate a kappa value manually. So I gave you the formula to calculate kappa value, and I took one example and calculated in front of you how you can calculate kappa value as well. Okay. You guys can actually check that document. I have already placed that document in the masterclass archive. Okay. See, whenever the live session happens, let's say, for example, this document. So in the masterclass archive, wherever the video is there, now below the video, you will find all the downloadable documents. So this document also, I will keep it over there. You can download this document and keep it with you. All right. Just give me yes in the chat box if you have understood this. Everybody clear? Yes. So downloadable document is below the video, because a lot of people then send a message that we are not getting the downloadable document. Okay. So just scroll down below the video and you can find it. All right. Super. Now, then comes the basic statistics. This is again the green belt level stuff. Like mean, mode, median, range, variance, standard deviation. Then we go to Minitab data analysis. Once we collect the data, then we do histogram, Pareto, box plot, time series plot, X bar, R chart, I chart, normality test, all the stuff. Everybody, green belt level, everybody knows this, right? Just give me yes in the chat box. If you have been through the green belt level, just give me yes in the chat box. If you have been through the green belt level, this is all covered in the green belt level. Correct? Very good. So as I always say that, green belt is a graduation and black belt is a master. So masters also has been through that level. Okay. So the black belts also must be aware of this. And I say black belt should be one level just deeper should be there. Okay. For example, let's talk about histogram. There is a basic histogram and there is an advanced histogram. There's multiple histograms. Now in histograms also, generally in in the green belt level, we study the normal bell-shaped curve wala histogram. So what is expected in the black belt, histogram will remain same histogram. But now when green belt, you are studying the normal distribution network, normal distribution data. Now in black belt, you will study the, the kind of a skewed distribution. Okay. Or like this. Okay. One-sided skewed distribution. Or you can study multiple histograms at one point. How you can do multiple histograms at one point. So the same tool, how you can deal with it even in a deeper way. Okay, for example, another way, Pareto analysis. Now in Pareto also, Pareto can be do level 1 Pareto, level 2 Pareto, level 3 Pareto. There are multiple levels you can go in the Pareto. So what is expected is the same tool, but your understanding of the tool should go deeper. See, the objectives of our live sessions are the same. Even though the title of the project remains, title of the session remains same. Let's say someday I'm covering histogram, but I don't cover basic histogram. I will cover the advanced levels as well. I'm just giving you an example, okay? So that your understanding of that tool becomes deeper than before, okay? So these are the basic tools. Now, what is covered in the black belt level in major phase? Now try to understand. This is very, very important. What is covered in the black belt is if the normality test fails, then how do you handle that? How do you handle the non-normal data? What are the strategies? One of the strategy is the Box-Cox transformation. Other strategy, Johnson transformation. Another strategy could be, how you can increase the sample size and, get the normality. All this stuff basically is covered in the black belt level. Okay. So when a green belt comes across a non-normal data, so they should ideally take help of a black belt or a master black belt just to transform the data. That is what is expected. Okay. Just like, for example, you go to a general physician. If the patient is critical, patient case is a little complex, which requires a specialized attention or operation, then generalized physician recommend to go to a MD or MS doctor, so that can be treated properly. That same funda is applicable over here. Okay, so this is where the black belt comes into picture: transformation, Box-Cox and Johnson transformation. Now, what are these strategies? These strategies are with the help of statistical tool Minitab. We basically change the normality of the data. Okay, it is very interesting. The people who are very new in the system, very interesting stuff called transformation, which you are going to study in the black belt. Okay, now then comes to the process capability analysis, like sigma level and all those stuff. Sigma level, CP, CPK, DPMO, which we have covered in the green belt level as well. In the black belt level, six-pack capability analysis. What is six-pack capability analysis? If how many of you know S, N, and C? Just type me in the chat box. How many of you know S and C? Just type me in the chat box. Rather, how many of you remember S and C? Okay, for the people who are not aware, it is basically stability, normality, and capability. Okay, everybody? For the people who, yeah, stability, normality, capability. Now, stability is done with the help of control chart like this. Then normality is done with the help of normal probability plot, which is nothing but Anderson-Darling normality curve. So we do this normality test. Okay, it can be done with histogram as well, like normal distribution curve, but you have to statistically check the p-value in normality test. And then we check the process capability, like we put the specification limit, and then we check what is my sigma level. That is called S, N, and C: stability, normality, and capability. In the six-pack capability analysis, understand this. In the green belt, we study it separately. In the black belt level, you can directly go to a six-pack where stability, normality, and capability can be done in one shot directly. So you put the data, put six-pack analysis, and stability, normality, capability can be done in one shot. Of course, we have separate sessions taken on six-pack analysis. You can refer to those sessions. Yes. And then if you have non-normal data, how do you check the process capability of non-normal data? That is also covered. Sometimes what happens, even after transformation, also data does not get converted. In that case, what needs to be done? That is something it's covered in the black belt level. Clear, everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. So the topics which are highlighted in black are basically covered in the black belt level. Rest of them are there in the green belt level. See, even though the number of topics are very high, just try to understand this. Now, the number of topics, let's say, for example, basic study, let's say, yahan se leke yahan tak, normality tak, okay? Even though the number of topics you are observing, let's say 10, 12 topics are there, but only one topic like this, the content-wise, this one, the black belt level topic is much higher than all the 10 topics put together. Okay, so don't go with the number of lines in the Excel sheet, but the content is much deeper and much larger in terms of black belt level. So that is something which I just want to highlight. Everybody with me till now, just give me yes in the chat box. So these are the 3-4 areas black belt has. These are the advanced tools where some kind of abnormality, how to handle this non-normal data kind of stuff, we basically cover here in the black belt. Clear? Rest of the things remain common. I will show you the course content as well once I finish this, okay? So that you can easily appreciate this. Now then, once we come to analyze phase, then the first one is cause and effect, which we all do in common. Then why analysis, root cause analysis, then prioritization of the root cause. Okay. Now then comes to the validation. Validation meaning there is hypothesis testing, regression, etc. So in hypothesis testing, green belt covers one sample and a two sample t-test. That's it. Very basic hypothesis awareness and basic tools like one sample t-test and a two sample t-test are covered in the analysis phase. Whereas the advanced, what you can say, hypothesis testing like pair t-test, ANOVA, F-ratio test, test of equal variance, test of two proportions, chi-square test, all this stuff in hypothesis are covered in the black belt level. Okay, so analysis phase is more covered in the black belt than the green belt level. Okay, and then when it comes to regression, simple regression is covered in the green belt level, whereas curvilinear regression, multiple regression, all those stuff, plus design of experiments, very, very powerful tool. All these tools are covered in the black belt level. Oops. Just a second, let me remove this. Okay. Then FMEA, value stream mapping, process mapping, VA, 7-West, etc. All these are common tools across this one. Okay. So this stuff, again, coming back to design of experiments, very, very advanced tools. Okay. Again, basic design of experiment is covered in the black belt level. Advanced design of experiment is covered in the master black belt level, just for your information. Okay. Multiple regression, curvilinear regression, and all those stuff in the regression part and the hypothesis part. So these are two parts: hypothesis, regression, as well as design of experimentation. Basic hypothesis, simple regression is covered in the green belt, and remaining everything is covered in the black belt level. Clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. Clear? And now we are not going into each and every tool because every line requires at least 1 hour for me to explain. Okay, they are science in itself. ANOVA is a science in itself. I have taken several sessions on ANOVA. Okay, you can go to Masterclass Archive and go to the deeper understand. Just type search ANOVA and you will find whatever. I'll show you today as well. Okay, how you can search in the Masterclass Archive. I'll give you the best strategy to search. Then we come to improve phase. Now in improve phase, generally we cover Scamper. Now, yeah, let me touch upon. Yeah, let me touch upon yellow belt level. What are the general tools we cover? So in measure phase, generally we cover these kinds of basic histogram, Pareto, the trend chart. All this basic stuff is covered in the yellow belt level, and then we check the process capability quickly in the yellow belt level. After that, in analyze phase, in the yellow belt we cover cause and effect and viable analysis. That's it. We don't generally do the validation part because the project is not very big project. So generally we get hardly 10, 15, 20 causes. So we don't go for the validation. We generally find out a solution and implement the solution because they are generally simpler and smaller solutions to implement. Okay. That is the yellow belt level explanation. Then when it comes to improve, Scamper is common across yellow belt, green belt, black belt. Scamper is a fantastic tool, by the way. And you should use the Scamper more regularly for even your routine problem solving as well. I hope everybody remembers Scamper, very powerful tool. We cover in the yellow belt level as well. I hope everybody remembers, right? Just give me confirmation, yes. Scamper, everybody remembers, right? Substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to other use, eliminate, and rearrange. So these are the trigger words basically to give us the ideas to solve the problem. That's a Scamper. Then there is something in the black belt we cover, which is called optimized design of experimentation, optimization. Okay, which we have covered in the black belt level. Apart from that, all these are green belt stuff. How to eliminate non-value added activity. These are all lean tools. Okay. Then SMED technique, 5S, POCAYOK, effort benefit analysis, implementation action plan. These are all basic stuff covered in the green belt level. Now in the yellow belt, what we cover Scamper, and directly we prepare a implementation action plan generally. Okay, so these are the two tools we use in the improve phase, and we directly start implementing in the yellow belt, because yellow belt we have very small time frame. to implement it. Okay, so we cannot do the data collection and validation, etc. All right. Now, when it comes to black belt, we have some extra tools given. For example, critical questioning or ISCAP. ISCAP is similar to Scamper, just a little difference in ISCAP and Scamper. Then brain anti-solution brain analogy brainstorming or six thinking hats, differential diagnosis, TPM, Kanban, and its application. So all these are some advanced tools which are generally covered in the black belt level and not the green belt level. Okay, these are the tools to handle some complex solutions. Okay, and now you can add simple AI tools like ChatGPT. Also, you can add over here. That will also serve the purpose. Let me add that as well. Here itself I shall add actually. So let me add a ChatGPT here. And you should practice this. Huh? I hope you guys have started practicing usage of ChatGPT in your regular, routine activities and actions, right? Provider or any difference. See, more or less, all the certification provided, the basic structure remains same. Okay, there could be some changes, a little bit of changes here and there, but more or less 90%, there is the same. What you can say, the content is same. Okay. So these are the improve phase tools to generate advanced, solutions. And when it comes to control phase, control plan, auditing, standard operating procedures, employee training, etc., are the common tools which are used in the control phase. Whereas, capability analysis, again, this is done twice. This is done twice in green belt as well as in the black belt level. And the control charts, basically X bar, R chart, EWMA chart, P, C, U, and P. These are the discrete charts generally we covered in the black belt level. So this is the only difference basically we can see in the control phase. So control phase is also more or less similar to the green belt and the black belt. Only changes that there are a couple of CUSUM chart is also there, which I think we have covered in the master black belt level. EWM and CUSUM we have covered in the master black belt. So generally, they are the advanced tools. If required, they are basically used. Okay, very seldomly they are used. So this is a document which I will be sharing with you. Now I'm just taking you to the course content just for your information. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah. So I will be going through first the black belt level, so that in the black belt itself, I will show both. Okay. So it will be 2-in-1 for you. And then for the new members, I will explain you the masterclass archive as well, how to navigate, how to maneuver into masterclass archive. That will be also important. Okay, so here we go. Yeah. So here is my black belt content. Just let me share my screen. All right. Have a look at this. Now this is the course 2. See, course 1 is green belt, course 2 is black belt, course 3 is master black belt. In your LMS system, you go to my courses or all courses. Okay, you will find out. Now, all the people who don't know the community, this is the community tab. If you click on community tab, you will get a link of the day's session. Okay. Now coming back to course 2. Now course 2 is the black belt. Now if you scroll down, first I have given a small 5 minutes video how actually you should be basically going through this black belt session. Okay. Now just observe here, introduction to Lean Six Sigma. Wherever you observe green and black belt common. What does it mean? You have already studied that in green belt. The same common topics are being repeated. Now the next question comes then, why have you kept those topics in the course content itself? The reason being, understand this. Now you are continuing your study. you have taken the 60-day challenge of completing green and black belt. But some of the people take a little bit of break in between. They complete their green belt maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And now once they start the black belt, there is a big gap between these two. And for them, we have kept it just for the referral, just for the revision. If you are in the flow, let's say you have completed, you attended yellow belt, you take the admission to the green belt, you complete green belt in 1 month, and then you go to the black belt. In that case, absolutely avoid this. You know, did not to go through that again. Okay. If you want to revise, absolutely yes. But if you want to skip it, please go ahead and skip it. Are you clear why it has been kept like that? Just type yes in the chat box. The logic, see, everybody does not follow the flow, because see, the life takes on, sometimes a priority changes, sometimes a project is there, sometimes you you shift to some other city, and your momentum gets gets disturbed. So just to maintain that momentum, we have kept the green belt level stuff as well. And as a black belt, you must be aware of the green belt stuff as well. Okay, that's the idea. Then if you scroll down, this is RDMAC overview. Okay, now if you observe here, RDMAC tools mastery part 1 and part 2 detail. Now these are the detailed ones, are basically are the ones which are specially designed for the black belt level. Okay, this overview is common for the green belt, this part, this session, but the detailed session of 2 hours, 1 hour and 1 hour each, this detailed session is useful for the black belt. Okay, that's why it is written. See, whenever in the bracket, when it is written black belt, that is where you should be actually looking into that. Okay. Again, as I said earlier, defined phase is absolutely common. So you can see defined and defined phase is green and black belt common, right? Then comes Minitab. Minitab part is common, of course. Now this part is measure phase common. Okay, measure phase, whatever the common part is there. Below that, if you scroll down, then this is measurement system analysis only for black belt. Now this is something the black belt people should now understand this. Don't worry about there are 10 topics. There are not 10 topics. See, the topics at the bottom are Minitab exercises, which are downloadable. Okay, so you only have, this is a 4-minute video, 5 minutes video. And these are the 3 sessions you have to just cover. And you can increase the speed to 1.5x, 1.5x or 2x, just to increase the speed as well, so that you can do it faster than regular work. Then normality and transformation, black belt content. This is exclusive black belt content. This is a process capability, especially for black belt. Then comes the analysis phase, green and black common. Now, advanced hypothesis testing, just like ANOVA, chi-square test, Rayleigh ratio test, all these things, which is black belt content. Regression, black belt, which is advanced regression, curvilinear regression, matrix plot, etc. This is covered here. Design of experimentation, only for the black belt. It is not there in the green belt at all. And then the improve phase, again, it's a common stuff. Green belt and black belt के लिए common है. Control phase also common लिखा हुआ है. Okay. Then the hackathon recording, the sample questionnaire, and some case studies, etc., and some extra topics which we have covered, which miscellaneous topics you can get. This is not compulsory for you to go through before you go for the examination. If you have time, please go through that. That will give you more information, and you can become a better black belt while delivering your services. Okay. Then 5S practical. Yes, some extra stuff diya hua hai, project templates, ebooks, etc., etc. So you can just refer them. Okay. Case studies we have. All this stuff is at the bottom. Okay. And whenever you're going through that, please, after going through that, please give a review over here, so that other people also should get motivation from your success. Okay. Give review to motivate other people. So that, see, sometimes what happens, sometimes you get a little lost in the content. You feel a little overwhelmed. In that case, these people words, no, because they have been through this entire process, that can give you that spark. Okay. So always give a little positive, what is the comments at the bottom, that sometimes you feel overwhelmed because of the, content, etc. But still push through. And we have started hackathon. If you want to fast track your journey, also you can do that. All the stuff you can do this. So these people have written and given some reviews as well. Okay. So this is what is the live session, the black belt content look like. And just stay focused and just focus on the black belt exclusive topics, which are not much. If you see, they are not much. You can easily cover that within 1 month. Okay, that's why I've said that if you can give 2 to 3 hours every week, you can easily complete green and black belt within 60 days time period. Okay. Now, before we close, let me just show you quickly about Masterclass Archive. Okay. Now, the Monday and Saturday recordings are kept in the Masterclass Archive. I hope all the new members also know this. Just give me a confirmation. Yes. Masterclass Archive, live Masterclass Archive also is available in your LMS. I hope you are aware about it. Just give me yes in the chat box quickly. All the new members especially. Yes. I hope you are aware about it. Now, understand this. Let's say, for example, how do you search it? Because there are almost 300, different tools, or 300 sessions recording available. So 300 session of 1 hour, 1.5 hours is too much, right? So how do you basically check that out? For example, you open any of the session, go on the left-hand side. Okay. There is a search menu. Okay. Let's say, for example, you want to check ANOVA. Now just type ANOVA, and whichever sessions we have taken in the past with the dates, you can find out. For example, you can see here, decoding ANOVA table we have taken on 11/5/24, practical ANOVA, decoding ANOVA, advanced hypothesis ANOVA. So these are various types of session which have been taken. So you can select one session out of it and go deeper into that topic. Okay. So whenever you are going for what you can say, black belt level and master black belt level especially, I would highly recommend go to Masterclass Archive and go to the topic and just check out the deeper understanding of that topic, which we generally do in the live sessions. Okay. In the course content, we cannot go that deeper because then otherwise your focus will be lost. So we have gone a little deeper into that topic in the masterclass. If you wish to go deeper, here is the way you should basically select. Okay. Let's say if I want to go for regression, there would be huge amount of regression. Okay. So you can see here, regression, correlation, basic, then advanced, then practical regression, then R-square, multiple regression, response optimizer, all those stuff you can find out in that column. Just select that and you can. So rather than looking for the tools like this, you can go for the search menu and find the desired topic for yourself. Clear? Rather than searching like this. Okay. Let me see how many tools. 375 lessons. That means we have had 375 sessions. Okay, as far as live sessions are concerned. We are very, very much consistent by that time. Okay, clear everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. So I hope today's session has brought some kind of clarity for you as far as the green and the black belt topics comparison is concerned. I will put this this Excel sheet below today's recording so that you can download this just for your information and keep it. See, make a separate folder for Lean Six Sigma in your laptop. Okay, whatever downloadable stuff is there, just keep them in that area. Okay. Plus, if you're doing a project in your organization, just start documenting it without putting the name of the company or any confidential details about the company. Start documenting that, and either you can document it Word document or PowerPoint presentation, so that when we'll go for the interview, okay, that can be projected, that can be basically shown to this one. Okay. Yeah, so Python is a big story in the in the see, what used to happen is Python we started and we had a team for the Python, and what happened in between, that team got transferred or got a new assignment in other country, and they have to wrap it up the assignment with us, and they have to fly by. So The Python story is yet not completed, but whenever it will be completed, it will be shown. It will be added over there. Okay. Yes. How to start documenting? Should we follow DMAC documentation? I'm talking about the projects. Okay. Projects meaning if you are doing a project in your organization, start documenting, because when you are going for an interview of Lean Six Sigma, you can showcase that project. Okay. There is a session I have taken about how to face the interview. What are the questions which are generally asked during the interviews? Please check out those sessions which are already available in the masterclass archive. Just type interviews and you will find some sessions over there. Just check out that. There I have given you some clues how you can utilize that document. Whenever I say document, it can be a PowerPoint presentation, it can be a Word document, it can be a project report. But then what is the advantage that you can understand this? A scenario where you are sitting in front of the interviewer and you have a project to present. Now the questions will be asked on that project which you have prepared, which the document which you have prepared. So you are very well equipped to give the answers. Plus, interviewer get a what you can say a positive indication that you have a practical exposure and you have come prepared. Okay, so these are multiple positives out of it, and then your entire interview becomes concentrated around your document, around your project, and that's what you want. That's what you want. Okay, rather than answering the random questions coming from the interviewer. Okay, so that is the strategy behind it. So please keep documenting if you are doing a project, and project can be generic project as well. Okay, and I always say that if your company does not allow, just check any of the organization around wherever you are staying. Okay, any SME, MSME companies there which requires your services. Okay, just offer the services at the lowest cost or make free of charge. Okay, give them the basic training, do a project or a couple of projects, then document it, and then you can showcase it to the management. That is also doable. Or if you have any organization, your friend has a company, they are struggling with the sales, they are struggling with the defects, rejection, customer complaints, you can take up one topic, one area, and tell them that I can help. Okay, and definitely don't charge in the initial phases. When you're learning, don't charge anything else, and we are there to support. Whenever you require any kind of support from our side, just send one message, right? We are just one message away and we will be there to support you. This is the WhatsApp number of the mentor. I think everybody must have stored this. Okay. Okay, so I think that's it from my side. Thank you very much for joining in. Yeah. This one. See, we have a special tomorrow. You will get a special Dussehra festival offer. Okay, if you want to upgrade to the Master Black Belt, there is a special offer coming up which you will receive tomorrow. And plus tomorrow evening we are planning, because of Dussehra and people are some people are not available on the Friday. What we are planning is tomorrow. Okay, we are planning a session, not our Saturday session. Saturday session will remain as it is, but the session which we do for the consultants especially. Okay, and we call the Master Black Belts, the Black Belts also to the session, so that they will get the feeling how, when we are starting our own business of consulting and training, what are the steps basically we should be taking. Okay, so that session most probably we are planning to conduct tomorrow. Okay, and tomorrow we'll be covering how to craft the proposal for a consulting assignment. Okay, last time we discussed about this one, training assignments. Okay, tomorrow it will be about a consulting assignments. Okay, so that's it from my side. You will receive the intimations tomorrow. All right, in your community tab as well as on your email. Please check out that and respond accordingly. I wish you all the very best. I want all of you guys to upgrade to the Master Black Belt and get the maximum of this. Okay, thank you very much for joining in. Keep learning, keep growing. Any unanswered question, please put it in the WhatsApp number and we will be able to answer them. Okay, thank you. Bye bye, take care. This is Dinesh Patil signing off. Bye bye, good night.